May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly Forex forecast. You are trading with RT Money. We are going to jump right into this. All right. I don't see a reason why not. Okay. Let's start with the monthly on the US dollar index. All right. We're going to start with the US dollar index, going to the monthly. And you can see just by the structure that there are some signs of strength. All right. You see the consolidation, you see the manipulation of these lows. All right. And then price moves higher, breaking the high of the consolidation. All right. Now, what happens after that? Price pulls back, creating a balanced price range here, right? And but we don't take out the low. We just come back into the consolidation, and then you see 4 months of bullish price action. All right, taking out and closing above the bearish fair value gap. That makes this high weak. Why? Because it did not create a new low. So that becomes a target for liquidity. All right. Price is moving up. All right. You see the pullback here, and then higher up, and then another pullback. All right. This higher high, higher low, higher high price action uh, brings us back to an OTE level on the fibs. All right, to the 618, and you can see it right here. Just barely misses tapping it, and but this is a bullish candle. These are signs of strength. It looks like price will take out. Will aim towards the buy side liquidity at this high. Let's look at the weekly, and on the weekly, as we start to narrow in our focus. All right, you can see the higher high, higher low, higher high, and this is the pullback I was talking about into a bullish fair value gap. Price respects this fair value gap, and you see 2 weeks of bullish price action heading up towards the draw on liquidity, which is the very next swing high. All right, then we can go towards this week high up here. All right, but this is the immediate target, but it looks like all signs is showing bullish price action. Okay, now if we go to the daily, this is where we get down to the nitty gritty. Yeah, I have some notes here, but I will let you know as price pulled back on this bearish leg of structure. It's just a pullback. You see how long it took price to make this bullish impulse here, and then to correct that move. All right. In recent days, we've seen the swing high taken out here with a close above it. Price pulls back into the bullish fair value gap and then uses it to launch another push higher, taking out the swing high and this old high here. What do you expect after that? A pullback. You see, this wick is showing respect to this premium array here, this high. So uh, we may have a bearish uh, beginning of the week. Let me show you what I mean. We're going to the 4 hour just to show you what I mean. All right. What am I looking for? All right. First, I'm looking for these notes. All right. That you can read on your own on a freeze frame. But what I want to show you is that there is a bullish fair value gap that is overlapped by by it says 4 hour, but it's actually a daily 4 hour for fair value gap. Okay, and I expect price to hold once it gets here and continue higher. You can see in this bullish leg that took out the swing high on the 4 hour that there are fair value gaps that will form that support higher prices. So I expect price to have a bearish uh, start to the week as it pulls back into the fair value gap. And then I'm going to change this right now because it'll drive me crazy if I don't. All right. I'm looking for price to pull back into here and then target this high, the previous weekly high. All right, and then uh go higher, and and look for that week. that weak high that I pointed out on the monthly. Okay, now let's move on. We're going to the uh, Euro USD, Euro USD, and it's not a whole lot of notes that I want to show you. I want to just point out what is obvious. All right, we are in a downtrend. All right, this is the euro. All right, we are in a downtrend, and we are breaking structure to the downtrend. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and we're in the process of quite possibly making another lower low. I don't know where I got that big blue thing from, but we are bearish. All right, if we go to um, the weekly, it's not a whole lot to show you there, other than price is, you know, is consolidating, and you can see how it's consolidating. You know, in this narrowing consolidation. This is not fun to trade. All right. What you're looking for is direction, and what gives you direction is fair value gaps. And uh, if you can look for the obvious breaks of higher time frame structure, all right, like here, all right, price comes up, takes out these highs, and then comes back and crashes that structure to the downside. All right, we are in this trading range, and price has already pulled back to the premium and chopping its way back down into discount. All right, and it looks like we are targeting these lows here. Let me clean this up. Looks like we are targeting those lows. This is the obvious next sell side liquidity target. Now we're going to the daily. And what do I want you to see? I want you to see what is obvious. All right. Price is pulling back after a bearish break of structure. We are bearish. We have the pullback. All right. Yeah, you might say, oh, we turned bullish. No, we didn't. We're actually still bearish, but price is just pulling back. It's impulse, correction, and then another impulse. And this is the target because it's a weak low. Why? Because it did not create a new high. When it comes up short, it becomes the target of liquidity. All right, for liquidity. So what we're looking for is bearish fair value gaps in this leg of structure as price breaks this market structure here and pulls back into that fair value gap. That's opposed to you expect price to continue lower after it does that, and it did. All right, and what did it do on Friday? It took out the old swing low over here. All right, and what do you expect after that? After price takes out a swing low, you expect a pullback, and price is has shown respect in this wick here, and inside that wick on the lower time frames, you'll likely find fair value gaps. Now, if we go down to take a sneaky peek at the 4 hour, you can see like what I showed you, the very opposite of in on the Dixie, the U.S. dollar index. There are fair value gaps that were created in this leg of structure, and these are bearish ones. You see how price is coming up here? I cannot take a buy into a bearish fair value gap, especially after a break of structure. I'm not going to take a buy here. All right. I will be looking for sell setups from here. You understand? So uh, maybe price pulls up a little higher to take out the previous high of Friday and pulls in here, or this isn't the Friday high, but this is a 4 hour candle. I'm sorry, but maybe it might want to sweep into this fair value gap a little bit more and then continue down. All right, there is a chance that price takes out this fair value gap and comes up a little higher, but I'm still expecting price to continue down from this zone. You understand? It may come up to test these highs here. I mean these lows here. All right, but I believe that this fair value gap will not get closed above by a 4 hour candle. So I'm looking for price to continue down, not on a daily basis anyway. A daily candle closing past this here. So we'll see. We'll see how price continues in the during the week. The next market we're going to look at is, oh yes, the pound. All right, I'm going to keep this one on the daily because you don't need a whole lot of detail here because it's quite obvious. What happens is price has made a higher high, higher low, and a higher high in this bearish leg of structure. We expect that we expect that because price did what? Had a break of structure here, a bearish break of structure, and you expect a pullback. All right, this pullback continued and chopped around for a good while. All right, looks like we may be turning over. I don't know why I had trouble with that. All right, but you can see on Friday that price swept uh, this little resistance liquidity here and took out those lows. You expect a pullback, and what do you expect to pull back into? A fair value gap. Look for on Monday. Look for price to form a fair value gap in here. All right, and then price pulling back into that fair value gap to just come back down here. That's all. I'm looking for this move. All right, into this fair value gap. I believe this fair value gap will hold and push price a little higher. All right. Now, if we see price starting to form more bearish fair value gaps, because I'm looking for the only purpose of this fair value gap that may form here is to bring price down here. If price takes out this fair value gap here, if it you see a close below it, I'm going to start. I'm going to think that the bias is now bearish. But for now, I'm looking for a possible bearish start to the week and then turning bullish. Okay. Next is the Aussie dollar. All right. This one's pretty similar. All right. Price, you can see, had a bearish breaker structure where it closes below that low, below that structure. And then we've seen higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. And now we see this long term kind of mishmash of price action. Prices consolidating the on Friday and the Thursday before it. You see how price pulled back after a bullish move here, a bullish uh, uh, impulsive move just to the high, just to the swing high here. All right, and we swept liquidity and price pulled back. That's what that wick is for, folks. Price pulled back, and we're looking for price to pull back into a fair value gap, right? Well, there was a fair value gap here, and it pulled back into it. Boom, right here. The problem is, this is where we are. This is where we are right now. Okay, if I have all of this lined up, I do. All right. Yeah, that's where we are right now. Do I expect it to hold? It's in a consolidation. I don't depend on uh, a lot of technical analysis when price is in a consolidation because it could change direction at any time. All right. That's the problem here. All right. I'm looking for price to definitively sweep these, sorry, sweep this low this low, which are relative equal lows, into this fair value gap here. All right. What happens is this is a a large order block. All right, starting from this big candle here, and that's what that red line is there for. And I'm looking for price to hold. I'm looking for price to hold here and continue higher. Should price trade through and close below this fair value gap, all right, this becomes the target and my bias will change to bearish. Right now, it is bullish. It's bullish. I lean towards bullish, but we're going to have to see how price respects this fair value gap here. All right, that'll give us a good hint as to if we're going to have a bullish start to the week or not. All right, so I'm going to wait on this one Monday, Tuesday. All right, I'll move to the next one, which would be the New Zealand dollar. All right, the New Zealand dollar is uh, like the Aussie. You see the break of structure to the upside. You see that, and you see that price chopped its way up just enough to sweep these highs, all right, relative equal highs, and pull back hard, right? And then you see price come back again and take out that high. That's what I like. All right, I want to see that. So, what are you looking for when it takes a high is a pullback, and that's exactly what it's doing. Pull back to the you can actually see it. I'm sorry. You can actually see there's a bullish fair value gap in there, similar to the market we just left. All right, the Aussie. But the problem is there is relative equal lows down here, a low liquidity, uh, a low resistance liquidity run, and price could very well take out that small uh, fair value gap, sweep these lows, and then you know that price could have a lot of liquidity to make a run up. All right, let's move on to the next one. Uh, and that would be the US dollar CAD. The CAD is pretty obvious. You see this hard drop to the downside, and then this long consolidation. I'm talking about weeks. All right, so you see it's respected the bearish fair value gap above. All right, and you see these lows were taken out uh, last week, the week prior on Friday. This was our previous week that just ended this last Friday, and you can see how this candle compares to these candles. We are in a bearish fair value gap. I believe it should hold to take price down to these relative equal lows and maybe target this uh, sell side liquidity at this swing low. All right. What you don't see is bullish fair value gaps that support higher prices. That's one of the, so we don't see a whole lot of resistance coming down here on the way down here. That's my my take on it. And on the next one, uh, this is a U.S. dollar Swiss. All right, I'm not in love with this market because of the way it's been moving, but if you pay attention, you'll see that price made a very long bearish leg, break of structure. It attacked the week low. It attacked this week low, and you can see it's turning around here. Okay, I'm looking for price to pull back into a fair value gap. All right, if we can just take a minute and look at how price is pulled back into a fair value, a bullish fair value gap here, deep penetration because it's been well tested. All right, and these were relative equal lows that price came and took out. Just price came down and swept those lows. So I'm looking for price to make a run, a bit of a run into this fair value gap, and we're going to see how this bearish fair value gap holds price, if it can hold price at all. All right, but I'm looking for price to possibly go back into the 50 percentile of this trading range, back into premium prices. I'm looking at this fair value gap right here. Really, that's what I'm keeping my eye on. But price may turn around here, because it may be testing these lows. So we'll see. We'll see how it acts at the beginning of the week. All right. There's a lot of news coming out this week, so look at your economic calendars. A lot of interest rate decisions happening, so you want to be careful of that. This is my last market. Okay, so I'll put out another video for the indices, and I'll make sure I leave a link for you. Thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe and like if you like the video. May profits be upon you.